player unfollowing a team on social media, it doesn't mean they're never going to be friends ever again. It's not like he's not going to like any of their posts, but at least it is a message from the player, one of their star players, to the team that all is not well. And obviously, Brandon Aiyuk wants a contract extension, deserves a contract extension. I do think the Devontae Smith extension today, setting the floor essentially at $25 million per year, probably helps his case a little bit. Now, as far as the trade request, I would agree with his agent. There has been no trade request. Obviously, there have been some teams, though, who know that all is not well, who know that he wants a contract extension, some receiver-needy teams who have inquired over the course of the last several months to see, could he be available? To my knowledge, the 49ers have not entertained any of those talks.
The Brandon Aiyuk saga is just getting started. A few days ago, he officially requested a trade. His agent comes out and says that's not necessarily true, and then he unfollows the 49ers on Instagram, on X, and then yesterday he posted another thing that hints a massive trade that could be coming in the NFL draft. In this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the Brandon Aiyuk saga, but more importantly, why the Pittsburgh Steelers are the team in prime position to go out there and acquire Brandon Aiyuk during the NFL draft. And we're also going to break down a little bit of what he just posted on Instagram yesterday. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, make sure you guys stay tuned to get ready for it, because it is pretty big, man. He's definitely, sending out there some signs that he could be moved here very shortly.
Is not the sentiment in Pittsburgh, as the Steelers continue to be one of the most interested and reported teams who really want to pull off a Brandon Aiyuk trade. General manager Omar is reportedly desperate to add a top-flight wide receiver, and the Steelers, according to reports, are vigorously pursuing an Aiyuk trade. And also, this is what the publication All Steelers reported today, that while nothing is imminent, the Steelers would be surprised if an Aiyuk trade did not happen.
Now, just the potential of Brandon Aiyuk coming over here to Pittsburgh has Steelers fans absolutely hyped up about next season. And man, I gotta congratulate the Steelers, because they found an absolute dog in Omar, and he would do whatever it takes to get this football team over the hump. And I think Brandon Aiyuk, paired up with George Pickens, Najee, Jalen Warren, Russell Wilson, obviously Darnell Washington, Pat Freiermuth as well. Dude, this team would be absolutely terrifying. Now, real quickly, guys, before we jump into what he just posted on IG and why this could mean something big in terms of a trade about to happen in the draft, make sure you guys do me a big favor. Hit the like button just so we can get this video out to more Steelers fans around the world. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free, doesn't cost anything, and we're going to be covering the Steelers throughout the entirety of not only the NFL draft, but the entirety of the offseason, training camp, mini camp, preseason, everything you guys can think of. I got you guys covered. So join the family and comment down below, what would you give up to go out there and get Brandon Aiyuk? Would you give up a first round pick? Yes or no? Now look at this. This is a picture that Brandon Aiyuk posted on his Instagram yesterday, right? Obviously, he is on FaceTime, and it looks like this could potentially be Jayden Daniels, who is a quarterback in the NFL draft. So obviously, there's already a lot of speculation on what this could mean. But he said, brother said we got 6 days and it's fireworks. Now, obviously, this could mean that Jayden Daniels is going to go somewhere that's unexpected. There's already people saying that he could go to the Raiders somehow, some way. He might not go number 2 overall. But this could also mean, and what a lot of people are speculating here, is in 6 days during the NFL draft, there is going to be a trade, right? Whether that be with the Steelers and the 49ers, whether that be with the Steelers or the 49ers and the Raiders or the Ravens, right? We did hear originally there's 3 teams interested. Now, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, this is all just speculation. And I think we can all clearly tell there's something wrong between Brandon Aiyuk and the 49ers. From, him requesting a trade and then not requesting a trade. From him, unfollowing them on social media, to him saying that he wants a contract extension and then they're not paying him the money he wants. There's obviously been a lot of turmoil between Brandon Aiyuk and the 49ers throughout the entirety of the offseason so far. And all signs are pointing to him going to a new football team. And then you have this, right? Him posting on IG in 6 days, which matches up with the NFL draft period. A lot of moves happened during the NFL draft. Think back to the A.J. Brown trade to the Eagles from the Titans, right? That happened happened during the NFL draft, right? So many things happened during the NFL draft, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if the 49ers are looking into the top 20, looking at the Steelers draft selection and saying, oh wait, we actually do want this pick because we want that guy. But obviously at the same time, it makes sense not to rush into the trade, because what if the guy they're looking at is not actually there at the point in time of the draft? So I think this is going to be a thing that happens in the middle of the draft. If they think they can land a certain guy, I think this trade happens. But let me know in the comment section down below, is this just speculation? Do you think it happens or not? Now, it might not be too easy for the Steelers. Now, we're also going to break down a little bit of film from Brandon Aiyuk as well. But according to Kyle Yates, who is a very well-respected, reliable source in the NFL, he tweeted out a couple of days ago, 49ers Brandon Aiyuk has officially requested a trade, blah, blah, blah. But this is the big part here. The report lists the Steelers, the Ravens, and a heavily involved third mystery team are trying to acquire Brandon Aiyuk. And like we said earlier, I think there's, the Steelers and the Ravens are definitely two teams that want him. Who is the third mystery team? Do you go back to the Raiders, who, we spent time with Antonio Pierce at Arizona State? I don't know. I think he's spending a lot of time with Jaden Daniels, so maybe they take. I mean, we could all speculate that the Commanders take Jaden Daniels at 2 and then trade for Brandon Aiyuk. That is a possibility as well. So, man, I think there's a lot of situations, but Brandon Aiyuk to the Steelers, in my opinion, makes the most sense. Now, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, the Steelers traded one of their best wide receivers in Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. In return, they received the starting caliber cornerback in Dante Jackson. But with that being said, they left a big hole at their wide receiver position, right? Obviously, George Pickens is your day one go-to wide receiver. You had Van Jefferson, who does have potential. You have Quez Watkins, who has burner speed, can get behind the defense. And also, I think Calvin Austin is a very underrated player that maybe could even break out next season. But more importantly, you're missing a route runner. And the one thing that Brandon Aiyuk does especially well is route running. And then you just take a look at what the Steelers' rankings were last season. I mean, number 28 in points per game, number 25 in red zone scoring percentage, number 21 in third down conversion percentage, number 27 in touchdowns per game. They were a solid run offense for the majority of the season, but obviously I think Luke Getty makes them a little bit better in that aspect. But then you look at the passing offense, and this is where things get really dicey here. Number 21 in completion percentage, you add Russell Wilson, that's going to be a major fix, right? Number 23 in yards per pass attempt. I think Russell Wilson might not drastically improve that, but I think if you add Brandon Aiyuk, who is a guy who, once he gets the ball in his hands, can make plays happen at any given, point in time in the game. They're also ranked number 25 in pass yards per game. Terrible. 187 pass yards per game is so bad. And I also think that the sack percentage and the QB interception percentage is going to go way down with Russell Wilson. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you turn on some Brandon Aiyuk film is a bunch of different things, right? He's route running in the intermediate, in the short, but also down the sideline in one-on-one coverage. You throw it up there, he's going to go up there and get it. But also is a playmaker. Once he gets that football, he is always a threat to make a play happen. Jamal Dean makes a bad play, bad read in the football, and boom, there goes Brandon Aiyuk down the sideline for an open touchdown, right? And then here we go again. We got Brandon Aiyuk versus number 20 here in Pittsburgh. Boom. Let's get to the outside. Again, one-on-one situation. Now, Russell Wilson last year was a beast in these type of throws in terms of Courtland Sutton, right? Now, not only is he going to have George Pickens, but now you have the opportunity to go out there and get a guy like Brandon Aiyuk and can do things like this for Russell Wilson, right? 50-50 ball, front pylon, beautiful contested grab there. Gets his feet down in the end zone as well. Beautiful. I mean, hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, if Brandon Aiyuk finds his way over here, it's going to be a problem for everybody in the NFL. Great adjustment on that comeback route. Beautiful job hanging on. I mean, dude, this dude, Brandon Aiyuk, is a dog, and he is someone that Steelers fans will slowly start to fall in love with. Just his game overall is nasty. Here we go to crosser route. Boom, catch it. Let's see, turn our head. look where we're going. Okay, let's make a move after the catch. And this is where it gets the most dangerous, man. You give him the football in open space, the man is going to be a threat to score on every single play. Boom, hurdles that boy, does fall out of bounds, but still, Brandon Aiyuk is someone that can make your football team better from the jump, right? And you talk about the additions of, their offense, Russell Wilson, and, you bring in Arthur Smith. I think I said Luke Getsy earlier in the video. I don't know why I said Luke Getsy. Arthur Smith as a offensive coordinator. Dude, Najee, Jalen Warren going to be epic, right? Running game is going to be really good. Along with, Darnell Washington, Pat Freiermuth, George Pickens, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, Brandon Aiyuk potentially. Dude, this team could be sick.